Here are some signs that may indicate the presence of a loved one or an angel. Seeing or sensing a loved one's presence. This can include seeing a loved one's face or figure, even if they are not physically present. It can also involve feeling a loved one's presence, such as a warm feeling or a sense of comfort. Hearing a loved one's voice. This can include hearing a loved one's voice speaking to you, even if they are not physically present. It can also involve hearing a loved one's voice in your thoughts or dreams. Feeling a loved one's touch. This can include feeling a loved one's hand on your shoulder or a loved one's arms around you, even if they are not physically present. It can also involve feeling a loved one's touch in your dreams. Smelling a loved one's scent. This can include smelling a loved one's perfume or cologne, even if they are not physically present. It can also involve smelling a loved one's scent in your dreams. Finding objects that remind you of a loved one. This can include finding objects that belong to a loved one, such as a piece of jewelry or a piece of clothing. It can also involve finding objects that remind you of a loved one, such as a flower, or even hearing a song. Sometimes, spirits bring through objects that belong to them that they had go missing when they were alive. These are called apports. Apports appear through manifestation out of nowhere. From the other realm, apports manifest almost with a thud. No matter how light they are, they can make a very loud banging noise as they appear. Sometimes you may hear knocking. Having dreams or visions of a loved one. This can include having dreams or visions of a loved one who has passed away. It can also involve having dreams or visions of a loved one who is still alive. Feeling a sense of peace or comfort in the presence of a loved one. This can include feeling a sense of peace or comfort when you think of a loved one, or when you are in a place that reminds you of a loved one. It can also involve feeling a sense of peace or comfort when you are faced with a difficult situation. Here are some additional signs that may indicate the presence of a loved one or an angel. Feeling a loved one's energy. This can include feeling a loved one's energy in a room, or feeling a loved one's energy when you are in a place that reminds you of them. It can also involve feeling a loved one's energy when you are faced with a difficult situation. Having a strong sense of intuition or knowing. This can include having a strong sense of intuition or knowing that a loved one is present, even if you cannot see or hear them. It can also involve having a strong sense of intuition or knowing that a loved one is trying to communicate with you. Feeling a loved one's love. This can include feeling a loved one's love in your heart, or feeling a loved one's love surrounding you. It can also involve feeling a loved one's love when you are forced or faced with a difficult situation. Receiving messages or signs from a loved one. This can include receiving messages or signs from a loved one through dreams, visions, or other means. It can also involve receiving messages or signs from a loved one through objects or even events that remind you of them. It can also involve feeling a loved one's presence in your life when you are faced with a difficult situation. Just remember, your loved ones are only a whisper away. So don't feel strange or weird for talking to them, because they hear you and they want you to be happy.
Can you say something so that if this were played to other people,